we're going to do our top 5 goalkeepers right now in the Premier League. But as I said, guys, let us know in the comments section below what you want us to debate next week, because this was sent in by one of you lot, so that's why we're talking about it. So top 5, this is going to be really difficult. And obviously, there's so many keepers we could discuss, so many names we could throw in the hat. Are there any notable misses that you want to just drop in straight away that haven't made that were close?
Martinez.
Yeah,
I really rate Martinez for Villa. He's been a great signing for them, as much as I hate to say it. But, we played Villa a few times, Wolves have, and Martinez has been the man of the match 2 or 3 times. He's a very good goalkeeper, great bit of business for Villa. But then I also got Ramsdale, so who's really winning? I've not included Ramsdale either, to be fair.
Wow.
And you'll see why. You'll
Sorry,
see why later
I just
on.
want you to just clarify. You haven't picked Ramsdale. You do not.
Ramsdale's a close 5.5. 5.5.
No, I just want you to openly just say it to the camera.
Ramsdale's not on the top 5 keepers for me.
In the Premier League?
In the Premier League, no.
Wow. Okay, then I want to hear your 5th place now. I'm excited. Let's forget the notable misses. Straight in, 5.
So 2 weeks ago, I spoke about him, saying it was an absolute revelation for the team.
Oh, no. Do you know what? I don't know why I didn't even clock this.
How have you not seen this coming? Jose Sarr for Wolves. Right now, he's one of the signings of the season. And I don't think you can deny that. He's one of the signings of the season. Revolutionary for Wolves' defence.
I've not
Great
drank enough
shot
coffee
stopper.
for this.
Great shot stopper. Commands his box. Gives defenders a bit of some as well. I'm all for him. He has been on top form for us all year.
So you think Jose Sarr is a better keeper than Jordan sorry, not Jordan Pickford.
Jordan Pickford right now, yeah?
Sorry, let me try again. So you think Jose Sarr is a better goalkeeper than Aaron
Yeah.
Ramsdale?
If you give me right now, right at this moment,
Yeah, I am.
Jose Sarr.
Wow. Okay, that was not what I was expecting. Wow, okay. I'm startled. I'm speechless.
here.
Well, okay, my number 5,
Yeah.
I have gone in. Robert Sanchez, Brighton.
No, why? Really?
I've gone for a bold one.
Sanchez.
I've gone for a bold one myself.
Right, so who have you not going? No, who has not made your top 5 of your honourable mentions?
Jose Sarr.
Jose Sarr. Obviously, I didn't think you'd have him in, but
David De Gea hasn't made my top 5.
David
I
De Gea?
think David De Gea should have stayed away. He should not be in that squad. You've seen he's been left out of the Spain squad now, and Robert Sanchez has got that call up.
there's something going on at Spain.
It's
though,
because
with
it's
David De
because
Gea.
he can't fit the Spain system. They play out from the back. David De Gea's kicking is atrocious compared to. He doesn't command his box. He doesn't ever
But
come off
he
his
is
line.
one of the best shot stoppers in the world.
That's a great thing. I know everyone will argue with me and say shot stopping is the best thing, but if Man United want to progress, it's like the Joe Hart thing when Pep came in. Everyone said Joe Hart was great, and Pep got rid of him, and look where Man City are now. He does not suit modern day football. Shot stopping is brilliant, but he's got to be now a more rounded goalkeeper. I don't think he offers
does
enough.
the main job of a goalkeeper.
He might-
keeps the ball out of the net.
But that's not the only job now. I think another thing now for goalkeepers is to start attacks with this modern day football.
Yeah.
You discussed it with Jose Sarr, he's good up with his feet. You look at Ramsdale,
yeah.
they're great with their feet. Edison, Alisson, Mendy, all these other keepers are great rounded keepers. David De Gea, well done. He can save a lot. He can make a lot of saves. Like, great to him, but he can't make a 10-yard pass.
But he falls short on the distribution, but he's so much further ahead than so many other keepers with a shot stopping. I can't not have him in my top 5.
I just want a keeper to do it all now. I
You
think
want a full rounder keeper.
I wanted a full rounded keeper.
even if he's lesser in more important aspects of goalkeeping.
But then I also think that one of the most important things is to being able to pass it out from the back, playing as an 11th outfield player. You see that Robert Sanchez has been integral to Brighton when they were smashing it earlier on in the season. He was starting all the attacks. Everything came from him. He'd take the ball and then take the striker out of the game and pass it on and ping it around. And I think that's for me as a goalkeeper now, and it feels crazy to say it. I think that is so important as well for a goalkeeper now, and to be commanding. David De Gea doesn't come out of his... I don't know what's wrong with David De Gea. I don't think I've ever seen him come out of his 6-yard box. Ever. He just can't do it. He so many times... He doesn't collect crosses. I don't think he's commanding... He doesn't scream confidence.
I think he was scarred from crosses when he first came to United, and he was bullied. He was absolutely bullied, and Ferguson took him out of the limelight because he was getting bullied about by the... Not even big strikers sometimes. He was in like Tim Cahill just standing on his toes, and that was about it. But...
Great striker, by the way.
Oh, yeah, top draw player. But
yeah, I
think goalkeeping.
Shot stopping is great, but I want from a goalkeeper now.
You want the whole thing.
I want the whole thing, and David De Gea is not the whole package.
Agree.
That won't improve.
We'll agree to disagree on 5.
Who's your number 4 then?
My number 4, I have gone for, drum roll please, De Gea.
I'm sorry. I knew this was going to cut. Okay, well, we don't even need to argue him as top 4 because we've just discussed him for the last 5 minutes. My number 4 then.
Go on.
Edison.
Edison's at 4.
Edison. Now, this is now what I'm going to
So,
say. Like,
actually, you've just said that how important footwork is as a goalkeeper.
I said that I want the whole package.
Okay.
Edison's brilliant with his feet, but I don't think shot stopping is as good as the rest of as my top 3. I don't think he is shot stopping wise is good enough, and you've seen it a lot of the season. I know I sound like I'm contradicting myself, but I want the whole thing.
Yeah.
Which I think Edison is great with his feet, but I don't think he's shot stopping.
Just to say that Edison is my number 3 because I really rate Edison.
This is hilarious. We're literally like, this is good.
But for me, Edison is so commanding of the box. So commanding, so aggressive.
No,
takes corners. And plays with his feet, as you mentioned, the pep way, can hit a ball 80, 90, 100 yards with ease.
I completely agree.
I reckon if he really tried to leather it, he could clear a pitch.
Yeah, easily.
Because the technique in that boy, I've never seen any other keeper like it. No, it's fantastic to watch.
No, I completely agree, but I just don't think then he's shot stopping, and because I said I want an all-round keeper, I believe he excels in that, but I don't think his shot stopping is great enough. A lot of times you see Man City get caught on the counter-attack, and he doesn't instill me with confidence when he's on one-on-one.
See, I think he's pretty good at one-on-ones because he's quite a big bloke still. If someone goes around him, he's not. I'm not saying he's quick to react or slow to react, but he could be quicker maybe. He's not as good a shot stopper as other keepers. I'd still say he's a pretty firm shot stopper.
Yeah, no, this is my top. This is the top 5, so I still do think he's great.
Yeah.
I just don't think he's on the level of the next 3. So you then had Edison at number 3.
Edison at 3.
This is brilliant. Okay, and then my third is Aaron Ramsdale.
No.
I think Aaron Ramsdale is the 3rd best keeper in the league. And
do you really believe that?
Yes, I love him, and I think he just instills me with confidence. And I know a lot of people say, "Oh, he makes the saves dramatic," but
so if I was to give you a keeper right now,
yeah,
between Ramsdale and Edison for the rest of the season, you're taking Ramsdale.
Ramsdale. I'd take Ramsdale, and it's not even recency. I think we've seen the level that he's gone to and how well Arsenal have improved with him. Because again, he starts all the attacks, he collects crosses, he makes all types of saves, and he has got that bravery where he just throws his head into things.
So's Edison. Like you see the Mane high kick.
I prefer the shot stopping of Ramsdale.
Okay.
And I think again, this going back to the well-rounded goalkeeper, but I can see that. But those two are very. I can see why you'd argue and discuss, but personally for me, I just prefer Ramsdale. And it's not because he's a Baggies fan, by the way. I'm just putting that in there now.
Oh, I'm very aware he's a Baggies fan.
That's nothing. I promise you, that was nothing to do with my decision. I promise. A hand on heart, I can say that wasn't.
Do we believe him, listeners? Do we believe him?
Honestly, I've said it before on the podcast that I'm obsessed with him. On form, he's one of the best goalkeepers in the league. Just on form. Yeah, I know he's made mistakes, but I really, really like him. For me, he's my 3rd, and I wasn't.
I mean, for me, he's nowhere near Edison, but that's.
We'll let the listeners again
agree to disagree. Hey.
So we can ask that. So you're okay. Then I will put this out then as a little clip. You're saying Edison. I'm saying Ramsdale. You guys tell us who's the better goalkeeper in the comments.
This guy.
No, it's not. It's Ramsdale every day of the week. But anyway,
it's Edison.
Who's your second one then?
The second one is Alisson.
Wow. Have we agreed on one yet? Oh my god.
Have you got Alisson at number 2?
Sorry, it was Gary Neville noise then. I've got Mendy at number 2.
Oh, so have you got Alisson at 1 then?
Yeah.
So I've got Mendy at 1.
Again, this is now, we can discuss. I just think Alisson is just on another planet.
Who's prone to an error. Which is the only reason why he's not one for me.
I think Mendy has made errors earlier on in the season.
There was 1 or 2 clangers for Alisson. Maybe not per season, but since he moved to Liverpool, I can think of a fair few.
I think you can, but I think it's because they trust him. But then you don't notice all the things that he does great, because he makes decisions in games where he quite easily could be dispossessed about 3 times a game. So he's eventually going to get caught out once every now and again. But overall, he's kept them in so many games this season, because Liverpool at points this season, I specifically remember the Palace game when they got the penalty late on, and he kept them in it. He's kept them in so many games, and they've relied on him because defensively they have struggled at points this season. They have looked a little bit more vulnerable.
Van Dijk's not been as good as he was before injury.
And I don't know if he got rushed back too early because he did come back a lot sooner than they all thought.
True.
And with the way they play, sometimes I do leave him quite vulnerable with the style of play.
I really like Alisson. I really like Alisson. I think he's
great
a
hair again. We'll go back to.
I was about to say this. Top draw hair.
So you've gone for Mendy then at number 1, and I can see potentially why. I still don't think he's on Alisson's level, but tell me why would you say that?
Since Mendy signed for Chelsea, he's been nothing short of world class, and he has transformed them, or helped transform them, into this World Cup winning club side who's won multiple trophies. He instills a lot of confidence in that defence. Unbelievable shot stopper. We talk about commanding box and crosses and distribution of a kick him. I would love to have him in my goal for my team.
Yeah,
he is fantastic and an absolute snip at 16 mil. I can't believe that. I've even seen people talk about him and saying, should he be talk about the best keeper in the world right now? Because his save percentage to shots is unbelievable. The clean sheets in big games, he's a big game player. Right now, Mendy's number 1 in the Prem.
And I'd say number 1 right now is Alisson. But I get what your point. You're making great points. But I do think it does help, though. Whoever, as long as, if I came in after Kepa, I think I would have revolutionised Chelsea. I think Kepa was so poor that no matter what they got, he would always be shone and made look better. And especially because he's got back 3 in front of him. Back 3 tax as well. That does also help.
Back 3 tax, but with an ageing Thiago Silva, with an ageing Azpilicueta.
Yeah, but those two players are like fine wine. I'm sorry, they've got so... Thiago Silva is just...
For a free. And the Azpilicueta was 7 mil about 10 years ago. I tell you what great pies they are.
Great, yeah, exactly. Pies. But I can see why you would say Mendy. I think Mendy was a close second for me.
Yeah.
The fact that we both agree that those two are the top 2 is a good sign, because I still can't believe you put David De Gea in your top 5, but...
Absolutely needs to be. Still Man United's best player this season, but we'll be past that.
Yep. Who would you have said the other than Martinez and the notable misses that you've at your top 5?
I'm on top 5. I mean, people will be shouting where's Lloris, but Lloris hasn't been doing it for a few years.
Lloris doesn't make my top 10.
Top 10's a big shout.
Lloris does not make the top 10 goalkeepers in the Premier League. He is so flappy-handed. I don't think that's not even a phrase, but he's a phrase because he just makes mistake after mistake. He does not instill me confidence.
He makes some stunning saves, but I think it's also about how he dives. He dives very unorthodox and very flashy. And don't worry, I like a flashy save. Don't get me wrong.
Sorry, we've got to mention. So I was a goalkeeper, by the way, so potentially you probably are better.
I know gloves.
Yeah, no, I like that.
You clip that up if you want.
That will be the intro for the YouTube video.
But yeah, Lloris is great leadership as well.
Yeah.
He stuck with that Spurs team. But would any of the top 6 sides want Lloris?
No.
My answer is no. And I don't think it's even a consideration. I think, even you're saying you don't rate De Gea, but I don't think Man United will want Lloris.
They're both very similar players. They're both quite weak, quite small, not commanding, don't instill me
I'd
with
rather
confidence.
Dean Henderson than Lloris.
Yep.
I think.
I'd rather Dean Henderson than De Gea, personally.
Wow. Okay. What can I say? Dean Henderson needs to move out to a new club, by the way, in the summer, because he should be in the England squad, because he can play with his feet. If Southgate is desperate for playing with your feet, Dean Henderson needs to move.
I saw him linked with Dortmund. I saw there was potential.
I think a great move for him, because they've had keeper issues, Dortmund.
Yeah.
They saw a new keeper in the summer to replace Burke. Keeper Burke, he's still probably the best keeper at the club, in my opinion. I think he's really good, Burke. And now he's going to an American team because he can't get a team in Europe because he's been completely frozen out and things had a bad word said about him. That's separate, obviously.
Dean Henderson just needs minutes, doesn't he?
Dean Henderson needs minutes at a good standard, probably Champions League,
which
he could play very easily. You can sort of relate a bit to when Casillas moved from Real Madrid to Porto because Mourinho wasn't having him.
Yeah.
Well, if the new manager of Man United isn't having Dean Henderson, he'd go to another top European side and do really well for them.
And get minutes and then get back towards that England side because at the end of the day, he's a young lad. He just wants minutes.
I know he's desperate to play for Man United and I understand that, but he's also a bit of a hothead, I believe, so he thinks he should be playing right now. I also understand that if he was to agree with Man United to get a 2-year loan out to somewhere like a Dortmund or a Porto
what was being
or a
suggested.
Benfica,
It was a 2-year loan.
That's top draw for him because then we don't know how long De Gea's going to last for. We thought a couple of years ago he was actually done, didn't we? We thought he was done.
Well, De Gea's now, I don't think he can get with his contract. He's the highest paid goalkeeper, isn't he? I'm pretty sure.
He's the second highest paid player in the Prem, I believe, behind De Bruyne, I think I'm saying.
That's right, yeah.
I think De Bruyne's on like 400k, De Gea's on 375k.
So I don't think Man United can afford to drop him realistically when you're paying him that much, and to protect the asset. I think Dean Henderson has to move to get minutes. Definitely,
completely agree.
And he's a player that could easily make that top 5 with the form he was showing at Sheffield United and the promise. But again, he just needs to move and get time elsewhere for definite.
One other mention, I think Fabianski is really good for West Ham.
Flapianski, I like to call him.
Which he was called at Arsenal. He was absolutely Flapianski. For West Ham, and even when he was at Swansea before, he's really, really good. He shows so much calmness, but you know what you're getting from every week. He won't be anything outstanding. You wouldn't say, oh my God, what a top save for Fabianski. But you know what you're getting. So consistent, a reliable goalkeeper.
I just think distribution is what lets him down. With a lot of these...
in front of him, he's got Dawson, who hits it long, and he's got Ogbonna, who... I've never been convinced with myself. Or
you're not convinced with Ogbonna? I know we're talking about goalkeepers.
I think he's okay, but I just...
I really like him.
I've got Zuma, to be fair, haven't they? Yeah. Zuma's have been an improvement for him, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
And they got one of us who's over centre half.
Diop.
Diop, yeah. It's okay.
Injury prone, which is his problem, I think, quite a lot of the time. But no, I think that rounds up the top 5. I think pretty bold. So do you want to just quickly say your top 5? Just belt them out again, just so...
My top 5 was Sarr, 5. 4 was De Gea. 3 was Ederson, 2 Alisson, 1 Mendy. Yours was?
My top 5 goalkeepers in the Premier League right now. Number 5, Robert Sanchez, bold. Number 4, Ederson. Number 3, Ramsdale. Number 2, Mendy. And number 1 has to be Alisson. He's just so clear.